The old fashioned, the go to drink for gentlemen. This is the godfather of cocktails. Let's make the old fashioned. The old fashioned was actually a cocktail that wasn't even a cocktail at all. So before like real cocktail culture actually kicked off, people would drink bitters. They would have like bitter slings, which would be like medicinal purposes. Well, medicinal purposes or medication. And what it actually was people were just looking for reasons to drink. I mean, at one point it probably was a medicine, but after a while, people just was looking for reasons to drink. This is back in the about before the 1800s, maybe even during that time. So people used to drink bitters, and they would usually mix their spirits with bitters and water and something to sweeten it up, like mostly sugar. This was really a excuse, I would say, to drink alcohol. So they would always go around with that saying of, "Have you had your bitters today?" Especially, for example, in a way of basically asking you if you took your medication today. Which to basically unpack the history of the old fashioned, we really have to think about what is a cocktail. So the first documented article in the New York Times, I think it was in the 1860s, they documented that a cocktail was alcoholic drink were made out of a base spirit, bitters, sugar, and water. At the time, ice was not commercially available to the common man. So people would water down their drinks with a little bit of water to make the taste more pleasant because the quality of the spirits wasn't really good at the time. Basically, the drink evolved. Ice became more available to the population, and that's when water was substituted. Ice was brought in place of water, which and the spirits got better. So distillation got better, and after years, this evolved and improved. The drink has been known as the old fashioned. So legend has it that someone sat down at a hotel bar in New York and ordered a cocktail in the old fashioned way. And the bartender working there reconstructed the drink, or what he interpreted as a cocktail in an old-fashioned way as best as he could. So what he did was he went back to the days where people would drink their bitters, and he would reconstruct that drink, basically using ice, a good spirit, bitters, and sugar. So we will be making old-fashioned today. First of all, you need a mixing glass. Well, you can build in a glass as well, but this is what I prefer. And I just figured out I forgot ice. All right, I'm back. So you cannot make a cocktail without ice. Anyway, we'll be needing ice. Yeah, make sure you have that handy. We won't be using a shaker today. We'll be using a mixing glass. You could build it in a glass though. That's up to you. But I will be using a mixing glass because I don't want all that sugar to concentrate at the bottom. You could do it with syrup too, though, if you would like the whole drink to have a consistency and sweetness. But I like to have a drink that evolves after you've been drinking, after you've been sipping for a while, I would say. So yeah, you'll be need sugar, bitters, and I'll be using bourbon. You can use rye too, but I'll be using my bourbon today because I love my bourbon. All right, so we'll be starting off with 2 bar spoons of sugar. You could use sugar cubes, which would be the same. So 2 sugar cubes, which would actually make it way easier. But since I don't have sugar cubes, I'll be just using straight old plain white sugar. Then you need bitters. I'm using Angus bitters. I usually do like 3 to 4 dashes. Some people like it more, like the more of the bitter taste. Some people like it less. So, but as far as I understood, the original recipe would be 3 to 4 dashes. All right. At this point, you might need a little bit of soda water or just a little drop of water, 2 drops, to basically break down the sugar, dissolve it a little so you can make your own type of syrup. So, kind of like a buttery syrup, I would say. It's like the best way I can explain it. All right. Forgot to say you might need to use a muddler. Well, you should, I would say. So yeah, put a few drops of water in there. Stir this up, create your own kind of like syrup, I would say. So this really depends on how much of the grains or the sugar crystals you want in the drink. I like to grind it up for, I'd say like about 20 to 30 seconds. Get a little more of a smoother texture. Alright, I think that's okay. Then you'll need your whiskey. Some people like to make a rum old fashioned, even with brandy too. So if that's something you want to try out, I would say it's really good though. But I like the classic. So 2 ounces of bourbon or rye, or 60 milliliters. That in there. And then we'll be adding our ice. So we'll be stirring with ice to dilute the drink, which would be, of course, in place of the water that it would do back in the days. So the ice will be chilling the drink and diluting it at the same time. All right. So to stir this drink, you put your bar spoon basically on the side of the glass, right straight to the bottom, and then stir in one circular motion. Oops. I usually stir this about like 20 seconds, I would say. And what I usually do is put the bar spoon at the bottom, pick up a little bit of that ice so the sugar doesn't collect at one spot, and then I'll continue stirring again. So this drink, if you're stirring with enough ice though, at one point it will just cool, and you could stir for a long time, and it won't really dilute much, because as soon as it hits that temperature, your drink will kind of basically stop diluting. Alright, I like to use a big block of ice. And we will strain that. Oh, get that out of the way. Strain right into that. Now my ice block is not that big though, and if you have clear ice and a bigger ice block, it will look way better than it does my drink over here. But that's what I have available right now. For garnish, we will use a orange peel. And of course, express all that oil over the drink. Rub the peel on the sides a little. So when you drink, your hands will absorb the smell of the orange, and you will have the consistency of that orange smell all over your drink. I like to twist mine a little, so I like the way that looks. And that's the old fashioned. So let's taste it. Oh yes. I'm gonna be honest. It's strong. It's really strong. It's a strong drink. Really boozy. You get that hit of the whiskey immediately. And what I really love about this drink is, if you like whiskey, if you love whiskey, which in like in my opinion, like I do, so you really love this drink. The bitters gives a nice profile to that whiskey. They complement each other, and of course the sweetness gives you more of the dopamine hit. So this is also a really dangerous drink for me myself personally. What's crazy about that orange peel, it kind of tricks your brain. So first of all, you think that there's orange in there, like some type of orange juice, but it isn't. And that's why I love this drink so much. That orangeness gives you that fresh fruity type of note without overtaking it, without the drink being fruity itself. It's an experience you definitely have to make yourself to understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, this was a good idea. Yeah, so the old fashioned. I hope you guys like this video. In the comment section, tell me if you like this drink, if you try this at home. Let me know if there's any other drink you would like me to make. Leave a sub, subscribe to the channel, and have a great night, and see you in the next one.